The 1987 Doña Paz Ferry Incident, a deep dive into maritime safety failures. December 20th, 1987, what should have been a routine holiday crossing turned into the deadliest peacetime maritime disaster in history. The passenger ferry MV Doña Paz collided with the oil tanker MT Vector in the Tablas Strait. The impact ruptured the tanker's cargo tanks and ignited a fire that raced across the water. By dawn, the Doña Paz had sunk. Of the thousands aboard, only 24 survived. The final death toll estimated at over 4,300 lives. At the heart of the catastrophe were systemic safety failures, not bad luck. First, overcrowding. The Doña Paz's official manifest recorded far fewer passengers than were actually on board. Eyewitnesses and survivors placed the true number in the thousands. Overcrowding meant evacuation routes were congested, and lifeboats insufficient for the real headcount. Second, woeful safety equipment and preparedness. Survivors reported that lifeboats were inaccessible, life jackets were scarce or absent, and crew had not conducted evacuation drills. When the fire started, passengers had no practiced plan, and precious minutes were lost in confusion. Third, negligent operations and regulation. Investigations later revealed that the Vector was operating without proper licenses, with inadequate crew training and maintenance. Two vessels, one overcrowded passenger ferry, and one poorly managed oil tanker, should never have shared the same sea lane under those conditions. Fourth, communication and emergency response failures. The Doña Paz lacked working radio protocols, and the rapid spread of fire left little time for coordinated distress signaling. Local rescue capabilities were limited. Many victims succumbed before organized help could arrive. The legal and regulatory fallout exposed deeper problems: weak enforcement, corruption, and fragmented oversight. While some reforms followed, stricter vessel inspections, licensing crackdowns, and calls for better passenger manifests, many critics say enforcement remained inconsistent. So what are the hard lessons? Enforce accurate manifests and strict passenger limits. Require functional life-saving equipment and mandatory drills for both crew and passengers. Ensure tankers and passenger vessels meet licensing, maintenance, and crew training standards. Strengthen port state inspections and independent oversight so rule breakers are removed before they sail. The Doña Paz was not just an accident, it was a collapse of systems designed to protect lives. Remembering the tragedy matters because the safety gaps that killed thousands in 1987 can still exist if oversight falters. True reform requires persistent enforcement, transparency, and a safety-first culture across the maritime industry.